listen close. I know you've never strayed from the fold, but that's how freedom begins. Bended knees.
When are you gonna upgrade your system? Alright, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
Pick up! Come on, come on!
Eyes on the battle, not your screen, Commander.
I was thinking we could use some backup. Yes! Now, Brian!
Steal your pride, Wolf. The fish girl is winning.
Woo!
He's mine.
Not bad, little leader.
have a plan, Commander.
We win.
Moving with the wind, it's pulling me closer. Eyes holding the truth, with nothing to lose. Everything to find, I will follow through. All that's underneath, draw it out of me. I see visions of everything we always dream. When the morning comes, stars the sky above. Will you be ready? When I'm out here in the weeds, got my sights set on this, got me at sea. Always looking for a sign. I see it all on the horizon Everything I need is right in front of me. Will you reach out, take it, it's yours to keep. And the sun is high, shining in my eyes, moving west to lead us to paradise. All that's underneath, draw it out of me. I see visions of everything we always dream. When the morning comes, stars the sky above. Will you be ready? When I'm out here in the weeds, got my sights set on this, got me at sea. Always looking for a sign. I see it all on the horizon I see it all on the I see it all on the horizon. Yeah, I was undercover, wrote me off like the others, but I had secrets inside. You didn't pay attention, like an experiment. No, you're gonna pay for your crimes. I'll change your perspective, I'll teach you a lesson. Look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Try to take me down. Lost but now I'm found. Used to be the victim in the dead of night, but I can be a villain in the moonlight. Look at me now. In the moonlight, I'll make it my mission. Oh yeah, I'll have you wishing you could go back in time to never test my limits. Nothing you say will fix it. I'm too out of my mind. You're riding high, but I've got you this time. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Try to take me down. Lost but now I'm found. Used to be the victim in the dead of night, but I can be a villain in the moonlight. Look at me now. In the moonlight, got
Hi, welcome guys. It's me again, Fireball, and with me is none other than Kaka. So yet another month, yet another tournament, exciting League of Legends actions. So we are presenting you the Esports Community Cup powered by Crucial by Micron in association with Zotac Gaming, and I'm just so excited to be back here. And I don't even remember the last time we had so many tournaments lined up in the League of Legends scene in India. So it's always great to be back with another tournament and a lot of new action coming up. So Kaka, how excited are you to be back?
I'm very excited, especially with the matchup that we have today, which is EDX, my ex team, and ROT, the finalists of last tournament. So it promises to be a good series. And yeah, I'm just so happy as well because we have back-to-back tournaments in what seems like forever. Now this is the second month in a row with bigger prize pool as well. So it's going upwards. Yeah.
I mean, as you mentioned, your ex-team EDX, but they have a title washed in the prefix. So EDX, one of the oldest teams present in the Indian scene.
Yeah.
As we all would be knowing, anyone who follows the Indian League of Legends scenes would have heard the name of EDX, one of the most dominant teams ever historically. So coming to the tournament overview, Kaka, take it away.
Yeah. So as you can obviously see, the prize pool has doubled for this one. First place is 50,000. Second place is 30,000. Third place is 20,000. So a lot to play for today as well, since we are in the lower bracket as well. And one of these teams has to go undefeated to make it to the grand finals. 15 to 17, we had open qualifiers, which were best of ones and single elimination as well. And now we have moved up to the main event of the top 8 teams, which are best of threes. And these guys have obviously lost a best of 3 each, but they are both here and trying to claim their spot in the further rounds. And on this Sunday again, guys, 25th of August, grand finals and a chance to play for that 50,000 rupees.
I mean, yeah, Altar of Kings did go 2-0 against Wash EDX yesterday, so unfortunate for EDX right there, but they do have another chance. EDX was missing one of the key players in Zuzu in that mid lane, so that really hurt their chances in the previous best of 3. But let's hope that they can come back strong again. And against them will be Reign of Terror. So surprising that Reign of Terror find themselves in the lower bracket so soon, because they were the finalists in the last season of this tournament. Yes. Let's see if Reign of Terror can have an insane gauntlet run that we keep talking about, going undefeated and reach to the grand finals. And who knows, maybe this time they can take it away.
Yeah, and speaking of today's matchup, Fireball, again, EDX versus ROT. EDX, historically very dominant. ROT, of course, it's a new team, and they have made changes to this team as well in the second season. Coming short in the first season, finishing second, I think any team would try to upgrade wherever they can. So the top, jungle, and support have all been changed. And we will see new faces and new synergies coming up in this one. They did lose 2-0 to the Radiance, which was quite an upset, I would like to say. And Radiance again lost to TOK. But coming back to the match, EDX versus ROT, EDX again unfortunate yesterday against Altar of Kings to not have their starting mid laner. And as we say that, we jump right into the draft.
I mean, yeah, Reign of Terror maintain their core members with Potato Monster and Copy in the mid lane. And right into the draft, I see some expected bans coming out of EDX in the Yone and the Kled. You do not want to put the mid laner from Reign of Terror, that is Copy, on his comfort champion. So right off the bat, 3 target bans onto the Copy. So do you think that is a good strategy to have? Because we know Copy has been a high elo player, so I'm pretty sure that he can play other champions as well. So would you not like to ban out other members who do not have as big of a champion pool instead of just target banning a single lane?
I mean, you should always ban out the guy who is known for his high elo champions. Essentially, the Kled, he can one trick that champion to challenger. Yasuo and Yone, he's very comfortable on. So I think it's a great strategy to ban that specific person out and make him being the strongest player in the opposite team, uncomfortable. And as we saw in the last one, he picked Draven, and that wasn't the best game of his life, if you
I'm
remember
pretty
in
sure
the finals.
he would have wanted to forget that. Let's not bring that up.
Right. So, and again, very comfortable bans coming out. Sejuani first pick, I really like that. Sejuani is really good in the current meta. Answered with Udyr and Braum. So Udyr is a good champion against Sejuani. I am not sure how well can he do, but the Braum blind it's just shouting out comfort to me, because you don't want to pick that champion blind, right? It's a good pick into the Nautilus, into the Leona, into the Rel, but if you pick it blind, and as they have, and EDX Evil Dead is just going to pick the Morgana and counter it with the range support, so I think that's a very bad matchup already in the bot lane.
I mean, yeah, so we do see the junglers and the supports being picked up by both the sides, so they do not want to show any pick in the carry lanes. Zuzu ends up going for the Corki, so I'm assuming the Corki is gonna be in the mid lane. He did get a few nerfs in the previous patches, not as dominant as he was, but still a pretty safe and standard pick. Dishes out a lot of damage, has that gap closer to engage or disengage, can be pretty safe to farm and just become a monster later on. And we do see the Smolder being locked in. Now we did see Potato Monster become an absolute menace in the on that Smolder pick last season, so
Yes.
let's see what Potato Monster can bring up. Going to the second phase of the bans, we see Reign of Terror actually banning out the Caitlyn. So Smolder does have the issues of a weak lane. He has low in range, his auto attacks basically do nothing, so he has to rely on his Q, and before the Essence Reaver there are mana issues, so a pretty weak early laner. And you would want to ban out lane bullies like the Misfortune, like the Caitlyn, and that's exactly what they're going with. So they're making sure Smolder has a good time in lane, and he can scale up to become the scary dragon breathing monster that we all know he can be.
Yeah, and obviously Caitlyn and Morgana is one of the strongest lanes in the game even now. I could argue maybe Lux is a stronger support with the Caitlyn, but yeah, banning out EDX's bot lane is always a great advice that I would give to anyone, because they are so strong. Both of them ex-challenger players, top 50 NSG server, mechanics and escape leads, both of them just so comfortable playing with each other as well. So it's a great strategy, but it's a very passive lane in the bot lane for these guys. So I am kind of skeptical about it, and I like the Draven pick. If he picks that up, you just want to
Draven hover.
right, you just
Escape,
want to go
please.
ham, and it would be
Yeah.
a good pick here.
Like you mentioned, Escape Please and Evil Dead, for the new viewers who do not know who these players are, so back in the day, back in the OG League of Legends day, these were one of the first Indian players to ever hit Challenger rank, and they did not just hit Challenger rank, they went to the top 20s, top 10 rank in the ladder, so they were the best of the best, not just in the country, on the entire server. So albeit
Exactly.
it was a long time ago, but sure, form may be temporary but class is permanent, is what they say in football, and that can be extrapolated here. So let's see what Escape Please and Evil Dead can do on this Jhin and Morgana in the bottom lane against the Braum and Smolder. So the draft will be closed out by the Cho'Gath in the top lane against the Irelia. How are you feeling about that?
It could be the Udyr top, since they are hovering the Ivern, and well, it's going to be the Mordekaiser then, isn't it? I would just like to pause myself for a bit and then see what they end up picking up.
Fiora, let's go. So very mechanical, wants to fight all the time, can just be an absolute menace in the split push. Not many champions can match her later on in the game, but against hard to play, hard to pull off. So let's see if Reign of Terror, Black Blade can use Fiora's blade to good use. So we do have our teams selected and the draft is done. How are you feeling about these team comps?
I feel like EDX has really drafted well in this one. I think I would even say they have dismantled this draft, because 4 melee champions against Morgana, Jhin, Corki, like these 3 range champions, and then you have the beefy frontline with the Sejuani and Cho'Gath. So it's always going to be a very hard task for the Fiora, well, she's gonna split push, but the Irelia to reach the backline. And in a team fight, I don't know how they are going to pull off the wins unless they get a really good flank, which again against Morgana can be a little difficult. So I think draft-wise, washed EDX, well, they might be washed in game, but their draft has been spectacular.
I mean, yeah, those experienced callouts working out for them. So they do have the draft on their side. Let's see if they still have the gameplay to back it up. So if played correctly, I do feel as well EDX has a better draft coming into this game. But Reign of Terror, again, you can't write down the runners up from the previous tournament. And let's see how they play their side of the draft and what goes on in the game. So guys, again, reminding you, this is the August Open by the Esports club. And as we had told you before, every month a new tournament. We had the season 1 already, which did so well. We loved the support you guys showed us all over on our socials. So we would like you to keep showing us the support for the new viewers. Please go and like, follow and join all the Discord servers, the Instagram page and Facebook, links of which are in the description box. Again, this is all made possible with the support of Crucial by Micron and Zotac Gaming. So links of their websites and their amazing gaming products are there in the description box as well. So I'm just ready to jump into the game.
Yeah, and just speaking of the draft a bit again, I know we have spoken about it in length, but Cho'Gath and Corki can comfortably farm, right? So I would expect Fufu Cutie to spend most of his time in the bottom lane trying to get that Jhin ahead against the Braum and Smolder, which is a very passive lane, if I must say. And they will be looking to scale. The Smolder will be looking to get to that 225 stack mark as soon as he can. So I think that could spell a bit of trouble in the bot lane for Reign of Terror. For washed EDX, I think again, if I am the jungler, if I'm darker than Z, I'm looking at that top side, trying to camp out that Cho'Gath against the Fiora and just trying to get her snowballing, focusing really on those grubs so she can take out these turrets really fast as well. And it will benefit the Irelia as well in the 1v1 because that's what they are looking to do, the 1-3-1 with two really strong laners.
I mean, yeah, looking over the tournament as well, we do see ADX focuses mainly on their bot lane. They want to back SK Please to carry the team, and SK Please has been delivering. So EDX brutality, as you see from the previous tournaments as well. So let's hope that brutality can come up clutch this time as well. And I'm pretty sure Reign of Terror knows this and would be trying their hardest to shut him down because he is the most important threat that is present against them.
Yeah, and washed or not, that guy, if you get him ahead, he will carry the game most of the times. So I think that even ROT has their work cut out for them. They know the focus is going to be on the bot side, and it really depends on how well they can deal with it. Again, Niket mechanics, pardon me, if he gets free, he will roam, go to the mid lane, go to the top lane, get these ganks off, get the lanes ahead as well. So it's very important for Fufu Cutie to focus down in the bottom side, and Potato Monster and Tarzan to not die. And I think that's going to be the flow of the game as well.
Yeah, and another thing I'm excited to look at is the mid lane. So we do see the star player from Reign of Terror is Copy. So he has been the one to make or break the games, as we did see the last time. But it's important that EDX recognizes that threat in the mid lane, and Zuzu needs to keep himself in check and make sure that he plays his A game and brings out his A game against Copy in that mid lane so that the game does not go out of hand. And I think it's a double-edged sword, so you would put all of your resources into the bot lane, making sure that SK has a comfortable game, but in the same time you would leave the mid lane unnoticed, and that has some threats that Copy might go out of hand. And we do know that Copy's playstyle is very roam oriented as well. He just likes to go up and down, trying to help his jungler get those objectives, trying to go down in the bottom lane to, you know, get those kills and help his bot lane. So let's just see how this pans out in the mid lane. And enough about the draft, let's just jump right into the action. The second round of the lower bracket of the Esports Community Cup August Open.
Yes, and just going over the runes and what these guys have picked for themselves, pretty standard except for Cho'Gath has the arcane comment. I would have liked to see the grasp of the undying up there, but that's all right. I think again, even in the mid lane, Corki does run fleet footwork most of the times, so that's a bit of a change as well. Going over to the side of ROT, pretty standard. Cleanse on Potato Monster, so he is scared of the Morgana bind and showing his respect, and which is really fine, honestly, because that's the one lane they know is going to create a lot of trouble for them.
So level 1 right off the bat, ROT sticking as a 5-man unit, trying to get some stranglers here and there, but EDX recognizes that and gets deep vision early on to the side, the blue side of ROT, so they can track the jungler earlier on and they can predict where the first gank is gonna be. So smart coming out of EDX, as all 5 members of ROT did show up on the map.
Yes, really smart. They see 5 people coming over to the blue side jungle of EDX, and they place the ward of their own in the red blue side of ROT. So both the junglers might know where they are starting. I don't like the leash idea. Sejuani can do it leashless, absolutely.
Yeah.
This will give away where the Sejuani has started, but all is good. Irelia is going to place that ward on the Raptors to know for sure where Sejuani has started, and well, they might have this info anyway. So pretty standard.
Yeah, both the junglers starting on the same side of the map as we go into a quick pause with some connectivity issues, so gives us some time to talk about the early game. And so we are expecting both the junglers to be on the top side of the map for their first gank, unless they try to do some other pathing and go for an early gank bottom lane, but standard. So Nabu and Blackwade would have kept that in the back of their heads and would try to keep the lane state accordingly. And we do see mechanics actually running the exhaust. I would have felt that maybe the ignite would have been better in that lane.
Yeah, but that would make it a kill lane, obviously. I think he's scared of the Irelia and the Fiora, so going into the late game, it's not the worst summoner spell to have against the Irelia. So, I mean, it just really depends if you want to play for the team fights or if you want to play for the lane. Even I would have liked to see the ignite down in the bottom lane to create that extra pressure. But it's not the worst.
If you're EDX, you really do not want to see this game go like 35 minutes, 40 minutes when there's a Fiora and a Smolder, even the Irelia in front of you. So I would have liked some more aggression coming out right there, but let's just see how that pans out. Exhaust, always a good option. I do believe one of the more busted summoner spells available in the game. So still pretty okay. Standard items going on everywhere. So Doran's ring is what Smolder looks to start to have that additional mana. And the AP will give the extra damage on that W.
Yeah, and you get 2 pots as well, so a lot of sustain in the bot lane. It's not the worst thing. So Nabu is taking a really hard.
All around, all 3 lanes, but Nabu and Zuzu find themselves half HP, forced to use their bots, I'm pretty sure.
Blood Torva is playing very aggressive here.
The bind will connect.
Really nice binding. I think this could be first blood here.
Root flashes away, flash forward, escape, please, will make sure he secures that kill. So good engage coming on by the side of Escape Please, and mechanics goes to show their experience. They made sure they got the level 2 before Potato Monster and Ezreal, and they just engaged. But
I think this could be another 1v1 kill here.
Potato Monster and the Braum, like, they did not give the leash as well, so it just they would have pushed the lane first and made sure that this exact situation did not happen. Like, you see the Jhin and Morgana, they gave the leash and got to level 2 first, so that ideally should not be happening.
I think it's just a lot of respect shown by Potato Monster and Ezreal. I think they made a huge mistake down in the bottom lane. You should know the enemy team is going to hit level 2 before you, so you have to back, and Braum does not use his flash to dodge the initial binding and pays for it with his life. And the whole conversation that we had about ignite or exhaust, I think it doesn't matter anymore. They got the first blood anyway.
So already one kill in the back of this Jin. He would be looking to get to his items real quick. So Jin with the new build is rushing the static shift. So let's see if SK decides to stick with that or goes with the more
Yes. And for Sejuani as well, just to speak on the bot lane, he knows now the Braum does not have flash, so he can, whenever he wants, just go down to the bottom lane and punish the Braum for, well, not having his flash. So it makes it easy for him. Sejuani and Udyr are going to see each other and decide who gets the Scuttle Crab. Udyr does have his smite up, Fufu Cutie does not. So let's see how that trade goes. Currently we are checking the top side because there is a lot of trading going on here.
Oh, a fight for the Scuttle Crab might come up. So I think Darker Than Zed from the red side did end up securing that with his smite, and he will just run away. So nothing comes more out of that. Good Scuttle Crab, steal coming up by Darker Than Zed. Ends up getting both the camps. So neat little advantage
and
right
if you
there.
could just check the CS difference as well, because that's not currently visible. 35 to 24 in the top lane, but a wave is coming towards Nabu, and this is a counter pick. If you do go 10-15 CS behind, it's not the end of the world. Trade the mid lane.
Yeah, Copy playing really aggressive with these trades and just coming up so far ahead. So Zuzu with his range as well, not able to maintain the distance with all the dashes coming out from the Irelia. So he needs to be careful. As soon as those items start coming up, these trades might end up resulting in a kill.
Yes, and well, huge CS difference in the mid lane as well. You would not guess that based on how the lane was going earlier, and Zuzu did force of Blood Torva to go back. But Corki, he will get his phase, he will get his plated steel caps, and then he's just going to be a tanky Corki who also out-trades you in the 1v1. That champ is just stupidly broken, just ban it. But yeah, the solo lanes are doing their thing, both the counter picks are doing their thing, and this was very close. Again, binding lands onto the Braum, he is going to take a lot of damage. And the bot lane is going to reset.
Yeah, SK would be having enough for the DF sword if he decides to go towards that route, but yeah, we do see him going the static shiv route. Has a good buy, ends up getting the full tier 2 boots in the boots of swiftness to have that zoomies dodge the Braum Qs and make sure he's a menace and escape the Udyr ganks as well.
And Darker Than Zed looking to gank the mid lane.
Trying to face check the mid lane and forced to flash away. Actually manages to survive, so escaping with just a sliver of health right there. But in meanwhile, red team, Darker Than Zed will smite away the Void Grubs, so make sure the side of EDX do not get all three of them, but the fight will break out in the top side of the jungle. Blackbait ends up taking down Nabu. So 2 grubs for EDX, 1 for ROT, and they end up getting a kill.
Yeah, I mean, I am not sure who won that trade because even Zuzu had to burn his flash in the mid lane, basically trading it with the Irelia, but it's a really a very complacent face check by Zuzu in the mid lane. He was doing fine. The Irelia had run out of mana. Just go there and checking, making it a 2v3, kind of punish them pretty hard. But it's not the end of the world. They do get 2 grubs, and as we spoke about earlier in the champ select, these grubs are going to be so important for the Irelia and Fiora to hit those turrets and win out. Speaking about the CS numbers, Cho'Gath is down around 30 CS, so that is a huge margin. Almost 1000, well, he is 1k gold down right now because the kill went to the Fiora as well. In the mid lane, 8-9 CS difference, so that's not too bad. In the bot lane, again, SK Please and Mechanics are just slaughtering the Smolder.
These guys still have it. The old peeps. Dominating the bot side.
They have so much experience and they have so much synergy with each other, playing this game for such a long time and spending all those hours. So they still have it for sure. It's just about how well they can carry this game, and a great binding
these
again onto the Braum.
binds are connecting one after the another, so the curtains will open. Escape please trying to do as much damage as he can. The Braum goes dangerously low, so just trying to poke them away, trying to deny the XP and making sure it's hell for the Smolder to farm under the turret. But meanwhile in the top lane we do see Fiora trying her luck out against this Cho'Gath. Good dodge coming out onto the
I think
Q,
Fiora might
and
die here.
the
Though Sejuani is here.
ultimate will connect, but the counter gank is there by Fufu
Yeah.
Cutie, and he will end up saving Nabu's life and takes down Black Blade. So not ideal for the Fiora.
Yeah, I mean, Fiora did what he could. He kind of missed his riposte because he did not get knocked up and missed out on the stun and gets punished for it. But I would like to see Fufu Cutie spend more of his time in the bot lane because they are.
Darker Than Zed is trying to get his revenge on the
that's
top
one.
side, and Nabu ends up staying after that fight with very low HP, trying to maybe fix the wave, and ends up paying for his life. So he's gonna end up losing out on a wave, and that's just gonna hurt him so much.
Yeah, and again, speaking about the bot lane and the jungle, I would like to see Fufu Cutie spend more of his time in the bot lane. SK Please and Mechanics are pushing them all the way into the turret with half HPs.
Oh, the bind
Are we going to see another
bind
bind?
does
Oh.
miss. He tried to go for the Smolder and not the Braum, which was what you would want to do, but Smolder just goes away with his E, flaps those wings away. So even with all this pressure, Potato Monster actually doing pretty well to stay even in CS and has good items. In the mid lane, the ultimate from Fiora.
Yeah,
to
I as well.
Yeah.
That is just inexperience. I really are showing off her ultimate right there, because you have to land the stun first, put one Q to the Corki, and then use the ult when he uses Valkyrie. You just can't throw out your ult and expect to kill the Corki 1v1 because he will always have Valkyrie. But they do get something off it. The dragon is up and they are going to take it. And this is a very change of pace here. Fufu Cutie is lingering around.
Fufu Cutie thought about it for a second, but then just goes back. Do not want to be giving out free kills. One dragon is not gonna make or break the game, so smart not to give away kills right there.
But it's still a huge thing because of how hard. Well, we can say they are winning bot pretty hard.
I mean, yeah, it should not be very good, and it should not be a good feeling for
Ideally, it
SK
shouldn't
to be
have
winning
been,
his lane and the
exactly.
dragon going to the enemy side.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see, the Void Grubs are up as well. The top turret has only one plate left. So Fiora is doing her job. Nabu is kind of having to fight off adversity in the top lane. Irelia did go back to the base, so I think this Grubs should be uncontested, but let us see how that goes.
I mean, Nabu is going for that Thornmail, I suppose. I mean, he does.
I think
have the
Bramble West
previous
is
moves
good
and
against the
Bramble
Fiora
West
because
enough, yeah. I think if he
will
had
negate a lot of
decided to
healing.
build tank, as you mentioned, Grasp would have been a
Way
better
better,
option.
yes. Okay, so EDX are going to get 3 Grubs. I would have preferred if they got 4 because then it would deny the 3 Grubs spike onto the Reign of Terror. But it's not the worst thing. In the mid lane, just a 12 CS gap. Corki is going to farm up a bit. The wave is under his turret, so I think we have gone into the lull state where there is not a lot happening on the map currently. Cho'Gath
I mean, yeah,
might
that tends to
get
happen
dove
with
right
these
now.
experienced teams. They will end up fighting only when it is necessary to fight. We won't see any loose skills going around here and there.
Yeah. And Darker Than Zed was looking to dive or at least see what was going on into the top lane.
Oh, this time the stun will connect onto the Corki. The stacks are up for the Fiora, but the turret damage
Oh, he might get...
will make
oh,
sure
I think
he does not go in front. We might be looking at a dive on the top side. Nabu gets a
Very
good
good
knock
by
up
Nabu.
onto the Fiora and just eliminates all the threat there was. So very well played by Nabu to stay alive, but he is 40 CS behind, absolutely enduring this lane, not having a good time. But hang in there, my big purple void monster. Your time will come.
In the mid lane again, the same thing has happened. Yeah, we spoke about that. You can't just throw off your ultimate when you are that low in the in the HP department and expect to get a solo kill onto the Corki. Connecting that stun is super essential to do anything to the Corki because he's just so comfortable with the flash and Valkyrie up. So that's just a waste of ultimate yet again.
I mean, yeah,
in the top lane,
did
as we
have his
discussed,
teleport as well, so does not end up losing any XP or minions.
He does not end up losing anything for that. In fact, Irelia loses her ultimate. So I think he will have to be a bit smarter about how the matchup goes. This will open up EDX to take up a lot of priority in the bot side of the map.
Yeah, we do see, looking at the items, the Essence Weaver is done from the side of Smolder. So it is 15 minutes into the game. Would be nice to know how many stacks he has accumulated for himself. Bind will connect, but onto the Braum, followed up by the root from the Jhin. But Braum being Braum will not take any damage at all.
Yeah, and props to Potato Monster. This lane started really badly for them, and he has kept up in CS. In fact, is 4 CS up. He's done pretty well for himself. In the mid lane again, Zuzu takes a bad trade, just Valkyrie away from that team.
This time the root will connect onto the Smolder, forcing the Sejuani to engage, but Flash and Cleanse being used up by the Smolder to stay alive. So both the summoners taken out from this Smolder. Another bind will connect, but this time onto the Braum. Jhin uses the curtain call. Let's see what he can do, but the Braum does have a shield up, forcing the Flash away from the Braum as well, from not confident on the last bullet dodge, which would have taken him down. So all the summoners spells being used up from the bot side of Reign of Terror.
Yeah, really good gank, and let's see how badly Fufu can punish that. Good dodge. Irelia burns his flash as well, so that's 3 flashes down in the span of 1 minute, and really good job coming out from the Sejuani right now. Udyr is taking the Rift Herald, so we might see a fight up in the top lane. Irelia does not have ult. Okay, the Rift Herald just dies, so there's no fight to be had.
They did see Fufu Cutie spend a lot of time in the bot side. So good answer coming out by Reign of Terror. So good macro. They saw the jungler in the bot, so they'll just go up and take the objective that is available for them in the top side. And again, this is just like mirror image of whatever's been happening in the mid lane for the past 15 minutes. Copy tries to trade onto the Corki, goes front, ends up taking 2 turret hits, and at the end it's just net 0 HP loss between the both of them.
Yeah, exactly, and I mean that's okay. It's serving him well because he is 15 CS up, but he has to be so careful without the flash. If the Sejuani just comes to the mid lane even once, they will get a free kill there. So Fufu has at least 4 more minutes to make a few plays. The cleanse is down, the flashes are down, so the ultimate will be very important. Corki roaming to the bot side, he's going to lose that mid turret. I think that was a bit unnecessary right there. The dragon has been started. The Irelia is going to go back but has the TP, so let's see if he decides to TP. He will, and we might have a fight in the bot lane.
The dragon going down dangerously low, flash forward by the Udyr and secures the dragon the second time as well. The Smolder ultimate coming in.
Oh my god,
by the Corki on the Zuzu. I'm not sure about that one, my friend. That too for a Braum, and he does not end up getting the kill as well. Absolute disaster coming out from EDX. But now we see SK, please, will try to get at least 1 kill back for his team. But all in all, an absolute disaster by EDX right there.
A really big fight coming out from ROT. They did not have the summoner spells to fight this, and somehow they did, burning out the flash from Corki, who decided to flash into 4 people and just died. And Mechanics tried his best to land his ultimate onto as many people as he could. SK Please does get something out of it, but they lost the dragon and they lost 3 people, if I'm not wrong, trying to secure it, which they couldn't. So a big team fight coming out for ROT, and they are 5,000 gold ahead right now.
I mean, yeah, these objectives are just going towards the side of Darker Than Zed, coming out clutch with his smites. We did see earlier on, he did end up stealing away the Scuttle Crab. Now the Dragon So Fubu Cutie not having a good time with his F button on that might.
This
But
Braum does not have
get
flash. I
caught
think
up
it should have.
right now, but they do not want to engage on that. Braum has his ways of escaping, so that's
But
that.
these are the sort
turrets-
of mistakes that EDX should look to punish, because the Irelia has been so aggressive throughout the game without the flash, throwing out her ultimate just for fun. I think Fufu Cutie could look back to this game. I mean, just look right now where the Irelia is playing without the flash. Fufu Cutie has to help the mid lane out at this point.
He
You
just
can't
ends up
give away these
brute
turrets.
forcing the tier 2 turret and will end up taking down the Corki as well, with no answer coming from EDX right there. Nabu trying to do what he's been trying to do since level 1, just survive. But how long is that gonna carry on before it gets out of hand? Might I say it has gotten out of hand already.
Yeah, it has. There's an 8,000, 6,000 gold lead now. Excuse me. Solo kill in the mid lane, 2 turrets for the Irelia. If we
Ooh,
can
do
just
see
look at the
Udyr
gold
passing
difference
bot
as well.
side as well. Does not have the flash available. The black shield should protect Mechanics. The stun does not connect. Mechanics going dangerously low will end up surviving. Fufukyuta is here to provide some sort of cover, but ends up getting stuck into the turret. Let's see if they try to actually go for a dive. The curtain call will buy some time. Good ultimate getting out of
Beautiful.
Sejuani. Gets 2 kills for the side of EDX. So good counter engage coming on from the side of EDX. Ends up getting 2 kills, and they protect the tower as well.
Yeah, and this is the sort of over aggression that ROT can do sometimes, and EDX does well to punish it. But I think this could be a bit too late as it looks right now, because the top and mid lane has been. Just look at the goal difference as we can see on the screen. Almost 3,000 in the top lane, almost 3,000 in the mid lane as well. The junglers is ahead. 1,500 gold in the bot lane. Obviously, as we discussed thoroughly in the Champ Select, SK and Mechanics will get those leads, but the Smolder has 150 gold bounty on him, and he does have around 180 stacks if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
so he's getting close to his power spike as well.
Close to that 225 true damage Elder Dragon stage, and I'm pretty sure Fufu would have been looking to capitalize on that first blood, but all of that is in hindsight. So all the 3 tier 1s go down. The teleport does come here. Irelia ultimate does connect onto Fufu Cutie, but that's not gonna keep him alive for way too long. So Blood Torva goes on a killing spree, and things are going south for EDX.
Yeah, and I think it's just too late to gank the Irelia. She has the 2 items. She's so far ahead that she can 1v2 the Jin and Sejuani, who don't have that kind of a synergy to land the stun together.
Yeah, neat Bromert forcing the flash out of this Jin, so it's gonna be pretty immobile. Now Nabu tries to go in front. The root will be parried away from the Fiora, so well played. Made sure that she was the one tanking the root and just W's it away. So what's the plan for EDX right now? What are they looking to do right now?
I think for EDX you just have to turtle up and see if there are any mistakes that you can punish. Luckily for them, it's just a good game because no Infernal Drake, no Mountain Drake. It is going to be one of the less stronger Drakes coming up, so they will be fine, but they have to farm up. When it comes to scaling though, how are you going to outscale the Smolder, the Fiora and the Irelia? It's just going to be very difficult.
These guys are farming so well as well. Almost all the carries are at least 9 to 10 CS per minute, and they're just so far ahead of the curve compared to their counterparts. And EDX really need to turtle hard and just hope for a throw coming out from the side of Reign of Terror, which these guys are not known to do all that much.
Yeah, and just looking at the item build, Sorcerer's Shoes for Corki, I don't think I have seen that. You should go for plated steel caps in this game against the Irelia, the Fiora. Even the Udyr, who does physical damage, so does the Smolder, so very weird choices of items coming out.
So the Udyr ends up getting caught between a rock and a hard place, but the Braum is here. The re-engage will come onto the side of EDX with this ultimate. The exhaust making sure that the team survives, and great binds and stuns. Just a lot of CC coming out from EDX. Make sure they take down Copy. The curtain call trying to do as much as
Oh
it could.
my
The fourth
God.
shot connects from SK. Please taking down the mid laner, and but the Smolder comes in with his own ultimate, trying to get a return kill. So all in all, a 1 for 2 in favor of EDX. So they do end up getting some gold back at least, and both the kills going on to the carry in this Jhin.
Yeah, and a huge shutdown for him, because killing the Irelia, that guy had such a big shutdown. I believe it was 400 or 500 gold onto him. So big shutdown. Again, they did punish the over aggression this time around. And SK, I think he's been watching Wanted too much, so he just curves the bullet around the Udyr and kills the Braum. This beautiful play coming out. And that's what they need to do. They just need to hope and pray that ROT makes those small mistakes, small over aggressions that they are known to make, right? They will try to 1v5 the game, be it Blood Torva or be it Black Blade. They will try to see how far ahead they are and check their mechanics. But great punish coming out from the side of ADX, and a huge shutdown bounty to Jhin, who is very close to his Infinity Edge now.
I mean, yeah, Jhin, a very big menace in the late game as well, can absolutely just do one shot, or I say 4 shot any champion in the game. He gets to a ridiculous amount of AD with 100% crit. So SK would be backing himself if the game does manage to go on a little bit further, but it's gonna be a task and a half. The root slightly misses,
Yeah,
so
and
Black Blade is gonna escape.
Yeah, Irelia was just, he could not move in that team fight. If you notice, has the Merc Treads, has 20% more tenacity. Now Braum is going to start the Baron. I think EDX should suspect that something fishy is going on.
The Sejuani did show up in the bot lane, so that is just an instant classic cue for ROT to start this Baron.
Yeah,
and
but
I
this
think,
Baron is not dying as fast as they would have liked, and
Fufucutie is there in
be
the
another
mix.
throw
The
coming
Baron
in.
is at 5k HP, but the re-engage is there. But there is just so much damage from the side of ROT that they are like, haha, we just baited you into checking us into the Baron, and we're just gonna kill your entire team and then kill your Nexus.
yeah, a clean ace for the side of ROT. Udyr is running into the Baron, but I think they could have tried to end the game at least. Obviously, the safer call is to get the Baron and mid inhib, which Fiora can get on her own. Can we just get a replay of that? Because I would like to see the Irelia ult and the Smolder ult, which just annihilated the Corki and Morgana in the fight. So you see, just right there, the Potato Monster ults and Corki and Morgana, their HP bar just disappeared right there because of those two ults coming up together. And a really easy team fight. Few of the team fight till very late.
Yes, Smolder has reached his Exodia as well, so it's just a matter of when the game will end, not if the game will end for the side of ROT.
Yeah, and just talking about the early game in this game, I think Fufucutie should have started top side and then made his way down into the bottom lane to punish the flashless Braum and Smolder, or even gone to the mid lane because of how aggressive Blood Torva has been against the Corki. So I think a little tweaks and we could get a more competitive game, but this one looks to be over for me at least.
Yeah, this one seems to be done and dusted. So Reign of Terror, trying to play by the book, will try to secure this soul, as well as Fufucutie tries to go for his Krugs, but there are none. 28 minutes into the game, 11,000 gold lead, almost 12k gold lead for Reign of Terror. Have the Baron buff, will secure the soul as well. Just mountains of gold ahead compared to EDX, and this one's looking rough.
Yeah, and they are washed EDX for a reason, because I don't remember the last time I had seen Sorcerer's Boots on Corki, and I just have to speak about that once again because it's just hurting my eyes seeing that item on Corki right now.
I mean, yeah, Corki got patched like few months ago. You do not build Magic Pen on him anymore.
Lost the package, lost his AP scaling. You don't make, I mean, it has some scaling on his Q, but that scales with AP. And you don't have any AP because you're not going for those magic damage builds. So why would you make sorcerer boots? That's very confusing. But yeah,
just the
engage into the mid lane.
right there. There's a Hail Mary play coming out by EDX right
that
there,
Buddha
trying to
damage
get
is
as much damage as they can, but the Cloud Soul making sure the Udyr has the zoomies and SK Please getting caught up, and the Smolder is just gonna keep on spitting fire, gets the triple kill, clean ace coming out onto EDX from the side of Reign of Terror, and this is gonna be game.
Yeah, that's going to be game 1 for the side of ROT. Very well played by both their solo lanes. And Potato Monster, I have to give him credit. He did not die in the bottom lane or in the game even once, even though they had that horrendous start to the game. And props to them, game 1 to ROT, and they made it look easy when it came to the big fights.
I mean, yeah, the game started out pretty well. I mean, I guess the only good thing that happened was the first blood in the bottom lane. Mid lane was doing pretty even. I mean, he was losing out on the trades, but he did manage to stay even on the CS. Nabu on the top lane, on the other hand, was not able to stay on par with that. Fiora, I am not sure about the Comet pickup there as well. The grass would have helped him trade much better and get that defenses up from the green tree in the runes as well. So a lot of these small mistakes, but at this level they do end up costing you. You need to make sure you have the right builds, you have the right items, and it's just unfortunate. So game 1 of this best of 3 series will go to Reign of Terror.
Yeah, and this game, it came to the macro calls for me at least. Giving out 2 mid turrets to get 2 kills in the bot lane. You're winning the bot side and then you don't go and pick that dragon up. Instead you go to the void grubs, take 2 of those, sure, but again you lose 2 kills for that. So these are the small adjustments in the macro at least that EDX needs to look at and play to the strong side of the map instead of playing around the Cho'Gath, who is 40-50 CS behind, 4 plates behind, always shoved in. You have to prioritize which lane is winning and then play around it, and that's what I feel EDX did not do well in this game. Whereas on the other hand, ROT displayed very good macro, using the Rift Herald in the mid lane, getting that Irelia snowballing, even though he was missing a lot of ults in the early game, and he did not exactly have a great start to the game as well. So those are the small tweaks and adjustment that I think EDX needs to look at and, focus on these mistakes from ROT.
I mean, yeah, the early to mid game was fine. It wasn't a disaster, and it was closed, and suddenly it just wasn't. So I'm pretty sure EDX, if they make those tweaks that you talked about, can put up a good fight against Reign of Terror. I mean, they have a task in front of them as well. We're not talking about some random team. We're talking about the finalists and the runner-ups from the previous season. So EDX needs to bring up their game and try to regroup, use that experience, have those team talks, and try to come back stronger in the second game if they want to survive in this tournament. Remind you guys, this is the lower bracket, so whoever loses is gonna go out of the tournament. They don't get any part of the 1 lakh prize pool that we're talking about right here. So I'm pretty sure both of these teams would be mentally locked in and make sure that they can come out stronger. From the side of ROT, it would be a statement to 2-0 EDX at this stage, and remind everyone that who they are. They might be in the lower bracket, but they're no one to be scuffed at. So ROT will be looking to have a dominant performance in the second game as well. So guys, this is a best of 3. The first game goes to Reign of Terror, and we'll be bringing out the scoreboard of the first game as soon as that is ready, and look at the summary of that game.
And just speaking of player performances, I think if I had to pick my MVP for this game, it would be Blackblade. Did get ganked once, did die, but again, he had more than 10 CS per minute, took all the plates that he could, was always visible in the team fights as well, helping the team out to get the void grubs, and just putting a lot of pressure on the map just by his split pushing. And that's what the Fiora pick does. and he did it flawlessly. So huge props to him, and even Potato Monster for not dying in the bot lane. Again, as we have spoken about for the nth time, great start to the EDX bot lane, but they could not capitalize because of how well and how careful Potato Monster played in the bottom lane.
I mean, even after tragedy struck at level 2 for the bot lane of Potato Monster, he made sure he was calm and collected. He had insane CS numbers as well. He was on par with the Jhin, just farming so well under the turret, with just like the Jhin and Morgana were just putting so much pressure onto him, pushing him under turret, making sure his life is hell. But he did show up big time, made sure his CS numbers were up, made sure he got the stacks when he needed. Those items were on time, and we just saw in the last fight what that Smolder can do when you let him get those items and those stacks. So really well done by Potato Monster as well, and I think Potato would be my pick for the player of the game.
That's just Smolder bias coming in. I am not buying that.
ADC bias right there. But gotta keep out for my fellow ADC mains. Gotta have those backs. So reminding you guys, we do remind you that this is just the second tournament out of many yet to come. We had an insane first season in previous months. This is the second season of the Community Cup, but that is not all what we have in store for you. We have tournaments lined up for the entirety of this year, and the prize pools will be exciting, and just so much League of Legends actions to look forward for. So if you want to take part in any capacity, if you want to be a player, if you want to be a content creator, if you want to take part in organizing the tournaments, if you just want to volunteer and be a part of this beautiful community that is League of Legends in South Asia, make sure to check out the socials that are available in the description box, and hit that follow, like and share button as hard as you can. And we are going to be going towards the scoreboard as soon as that is going to be ready. And so we are having some sort of technical difficulties. Let's just go right into a quick break, and we will be right back with the match summary, highlights and the scoreboard. See you guys soon.
And game 2.
Barely breathing, don't let go. Hear the whispers, listen close. I know you've never strayed from the fold, but that's how freedom begins. Bended knees and broken bones, a bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion, be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. your demons, raise your voice. They're only silent if we're making noise. So let the battle begin. Bended knees and broken bones, a bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution.
They wanna count me out. Next time pick a higher number. Next time you should run for cover. Next time let the giants slumber. They wanna keep me down. No amount of your words get humble. That spirit never refuse to crumble. Got the wrong line, reduce the mumbles. 2 a.m. on first. Imitate vultures how they lurk. Take toes with it, I'm out of eye with you, boy. Challenge the best with your worst. This is my turf. Way I move is inertia. Can't be stopped, it's unheard of. From the dirt, sweat got my feet muddy. Spin my wins, they might search you. On my word, path took plenty turns. It wrote my confidence in cursive. With submerged, I found resolving my purpose and tell you about it back on surface. I survived. I survived. Ever been lost in the woods, praying that it don't get dark? Ooh. Ever been in a situation could've win, but you still had heart? Yeah, if you anything like me, evolve from chum to shark, the hunger starts to grow apart you didn't know you had. It's like that, flip the switch, turn it up, and I'm giving it gas. I lock it in, all free, adrenaline double my percent. Made a home in the unknown, I swear I never fear again. I got ice in my blood, big enough to down this shit. I don't care how bad it get, I got 10 toes down, don't forget, I survived. I survived. When you on the brink and you in too deep, when you feeling weak, when it's hard to breathe, you gon' take a knee? Never. You gon' keep it G forever. Stand up and face whatever. I'm built unique, I'm better than the hard times I seen. Crime scene, obscene, face the ugly, cover up like Maybelline. Had uncertainty and urgency, cut from me like surgery. Formed again more sturdily, personally. I don't see nobody stopping me. I don't see nobody topping me. I don't see nobody honestly. I run you over if that's what it's gotta be. And it's gotta be what I look like, having fear still haunt me. What I look like, having regret haunt me. Pay that price, I don't care what it cost me. All my life been me against the army. I'ma push the red button on them like Atari. I'm big dog with a humor like a Maltese. See more fall off than 03 tall tees. Not sorry for the way I am. Learn to ball them up with no one holding your hand. Never back down, never hide in the sand. If you ain't hear the message, let me say it again. Yo, let me say it again. I survived. I survived. I survived. I survived. I survived.
yours to keep. And the sun is high, shining in my eyes, moving west to lead us to paradise. All that's underneath, draw it out of me. I see visions of everything we always dream. When the morning comes, stars and sky above, will you be ready? When I'm out here in the weeds, got my sights set on where sky meets sea. Always looking for a sign. I see it all on the horizon line. I see it all on the horizon line. I see it all on the horizon line. Yeah, I was undercover, wrote me off like the others, but I had secrets inside. You didn't pay attention, like an experimental. You're gonna pay for your crimes. I'll change your perspective, I'll teach you a lesson. Look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Try to take me down. Lost but now I'm found. Used to be the victim in the dead of night, but I can be a villain in the moonlight. Look at me now. In the moonlight, I'll make it my mission. Oh yeah, I'll have you wishing you could go back in time to never test my limits. Nothing you say will fix it. I'm too out of my mind. You're riding high, but I've got you this time. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Try to take me down. Lost but now I'm found. Used to be the victim in the dead of night, but I can be a villain in the moonlight. Look at me now. In the moonlight, got you this time, you can't hide.
And I don't know the feet, I only know the heat. I only know the grind, I only know the sweet. Yo, I miss sweat, I only know the best. Ass up on my chest, I only know the reps. I only know what's next, nothing more, nothing less. All on my name, I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? 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 I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? What's the goal on my name? What's the goal on my name? Y'all trying to move chains, I ain't into playing games, I ain't into naming names, but I mean it just the same. When I name when the lights turn to flame, and the flame turn to ash, but the goal will remain. Yeah, goal on my name, I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? 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 I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? What's the goal on my name? What's the goal on my name? This ain't what you thought it was. This ain't for nights out or for good enough. It's for early AM, still waking up. Trying to make it up. It's our time and we gon' take it up. Goal on my name, I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? 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 I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? 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 I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? 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 I've been watching the game, and I'm trying to make moves. Yeah, I'm trying to make moves, and they trying to move chains. What's the goal on my name? What's the goal on my name? What's the goal on my name?
So welcome back, guys, to this best of 3 series in the lower bracket second round between EDX and Reign of Terror. We did see Reign of Terror taking down EDX in the first game in a pretty convincing manner. They really did not look uncomfortable at any point of the game. And what will EDX be thinking coming back into this series, into this second game, Kaka?
I think they must have had enough time now to look back and just see what went wrong. And the bot did win. They have to pick their fights right around the priority, as we discussed after the second game. And I think that's where they should focus on, where to pick the fights, which lane is winning, especially in the bot lane. If they are winning, how can Fufucuti increase the pressure and take out as much as he can from that bot lane? Because Smolder should have died a couple of times, but he went deathless that last game because the priorities were wrong. So in terms of champ select, I don't think that there is much to change. I think the draft was fine, but they have to look to punish the over aggressiveness coming out of the side of Reign of Terror.
So yeah, coming on to the second game, jumping right into the draft, the sides have been switched. Reign of Terror will be playing on the blue side and EDX is on the red side. That means Reign of Terror do have the first pick, while EDX will have the counter pick. And looking at the bans, the Thresh, LeBlanc and Misfortune being taken away by Reign of Terror. So target bans for the support in mechanics, the LeBlanc for Zuzu. We know Zuzu is known for his LeBlanc quite a bit, and people are just not in the mood to play against SK's Misfortune.
Yeah, and respect being shown where it's need to be. Again, Mechanics is one of the best Thresh players that I have seen, and I have seen a lot of them. So you have to ban that. You can't give him the Thresh. Always show respect. And his second best champ, I would say, is Blitzcrank. And speaking of supports, Black Thief is back into the lineup, and we know how good his Blitzcrank is. And the Blitzcrank and Vayne, I think they're just picking comfort in this game, and they just want to. If they do go out, they are going to go out playing their best champ. So I like what's coming out from the side of EDX in terms of comfort, but I would have liked to see that Blitzcrank pick third, and then you can just counter or ban out the champions that he's bad against. But let's see how this goes.
I mean, I don't know how many old timers are there in the chat right now, but when you see the Vayne being picked up by Escape Please, you just remember the name EDX Brutality, and I'm so excited to see what he can bring out on this Vayne. Not the worst matchup to play against the Kaisa. Both of them do have low ranges, so one of the matchups that he can actually lane pretty decent in. And we do see the Nautilus being picked up, so extremely solid bot lane being picked up by Reign of Terror in this Kaisa and Nautilus. And Darker Than Zed, who will be playing jungle this time around for Reign of Terror, has picked up the Lilia.
Yeah, and this third pick, if it's going to be a jungle pick, is going to make or break the game for the side of EDX. You have a lot of CC down in the bot lane, a lot of scaling in the bot lane again for both the sides with the Kaisa and Vayne, a lot of playmaking. So the jungle pick is going to be very important. I can't see what they have picked, as they are already banning the champions, which is a bit odd. Slight technical difficulty. Apologies for that. And well, let's just jump into the ban for now. The Diana gets banned, and from the side of Reign of Terror, they are contemplating what to ban right now.
I mean, yeah, again from EDX, they just target banning copy in the mid lane. We did see the Irelia did pretty well for herself, but it was not like absolute domination coming out, like solo kills, this and that. He was farming up a storm though. I mean, he was doing well, but again, taking away all of the comfort picks, and they end up banning the Fiora as well. So do not want to be playing against that anymore. And Reign of Terror will close out their ban phase by taking out two junglers in the Amumu and Jarvan.
Yeah, Amumu and Jarvan ban. So that just says that they did not pick a jungler in the third slot, which I still can't see. Can someone tell me what they picked? Zyra, I suppose, is going into the jungle. She is very strong, has good jungle clear, and a really game-changing ultimate as well. So I like the Zyra pick, and let's see what Reign of Terror have to answer with. Irelia again. Let's see what EDX answers this with. Irelia could be a flex pick, can go top lane and the mid lane, but I'm guessing it's going to be in the mid lane again.
Mid lane again for copy. Yeah, I mean, he was comfortable with that Irelia. No issues going against the range champion in Corki, and was doing pretty well for himself. So he will be pretty comfortable to make sure that he continues that game that he had in first game, and they turn this upside down by taking the Jace in the top lane. Again, Jace can be flex as well, but I assume mostly it is gonna be the Jace in the top lane.
In the top lane, yeah, and I am getting word that it is Aurora third pick in the mid lane. So Aurora is pretty strong right now. Mordekaiser gets locked against the Jace. Not the worst matchup. Is going to struggle pre-6, but once you get that level 6, the Mordekaiser just 1v1 murders any champion on the Rift, which we have right now. Even the Irelia can't really escape or play around the Mordekaiser ult.
I mean, we do know Zuzu to be a mysterious player with his picks, but I did not know he was so mysterious that his pick would just be invisible for the entire draft.
He is playing Aurora. I got a word that he is playing Aurora this game.
Okay.
So Aurora is a good pick.
I mean, yeah, the newer champion, and as you are very well aware, Riot tends to have busted new champions But Aurora as well, a really good ultimate, and it can be paired up with the Zyra ultimate as well. So good combo potential right there. And Aurora against this Irelia should be doing decent for herself in the lane. And what do you think about this top lane matchup? Again, I feel that Jace into the Mordekaiser. I think Morde has better time in the lane, doesn't he?
Definitely. I think Jace will have the early pressure going on for himself, but once you hit that even one item spike for the side of Mordecai, so like you get that Liandry or Rift Maker or plated steel caps, even like at level 6 you can kill the Jace 1v1. The isolated Q in his ult. I think Mordekaiser is just too strong in the 1v1, especially against champions like Jace and Irelia. So I think it's a really good pick coming out from the side of EDX, and let's see how they capitalize on it. They do have a lot of AP champions in the draft, right? Zyra, Aurora, Mordekaiser. So Reign of Terror do have their work cut out from them in terms of what to make, and this puts a lot of pressure onto SK Please as well to get ahead. Because if he doesn't, then they can just itemize against these 3 AP champions and win out that way. So in terms of how the damage has been divided, I don't think it's a good draft, but just in terms of picks and isolation, I think it's good. So yeah, let's see how this goes.
I mean, yeah, and looking at the team comps, I feel if this goes to 35 minutes like we did see in the previous game as well, I think Wash TDX has the upper hand with this Mordekaiser and the Vayne, even the Aurora. So a lot of damage coming out from the side of EDX, but Reign of Terror, we did see they played their lanes really well and were able to farm up an advantage by just managing the waves and all. So if they get ahead, Reign of Terror, these champions can be really scary to go against in the mid game. So Wash TDX have their plan cut out for them, as well as Reign of Terror. Wash TDX would be looking to scale a little bit more, try not to bleed out so many objectives like they did in the first game, and make sure that they stay alive, and at the same time make sure they do not go like 40-50 CS behind in just like 10 to 12 minutes. If they manage to stay even, not die in lane, I think they'll be on the happier side.
So basically what you're saying is they have to improve their macro and then improve their micro as well, because the lanes lost in the last game and the macro was not that great as well. Speaking of draft again, that Blitzcrank first pick coming out from the side of EDX and Mechanics, I think it has a lot of value, which I did not think it would, because against Irelia, Jace, Lilia, Kaisa, if you hook any of those 4 champions, you get instant value. They're not the tankiest champions. You can kill them as you hook them. So I think it has gotten a great value. I would have liked to see Morgana or even some other champions, any range support against Blitzcrank. Well, not the Lulus and everything, but even the Braum would have been really nice against Blitzcrank. So I think they have given the opening to the side of EDX to punish them. But let's see how that goes, because they did win the 2v2 in the first game. And the support has been changed now, and Black Thief just made his mark in the last tournament as well, if you remember. I think they were really close head-to-head, Kratos and Black Thief, when it came to playmaking champions. I remember him not missing a hook in the entire game.
I remember Black Thief just putting out insane performances. He was one of the best, if not the best players for the side of Reign of Terror. So I'm excited to see him come back into the lineup as well. And let's see what he can do. And jumping right into the game, level 1, both the teams stacked up S5 and would not be finding each other. Now both of them trying to do some funny business. Potato Monster and company expecting an invade from EDX, but EDX will invade, but on the opposite side.
Yeah, and pretty standard, I would say. Blitzcrank team always wants to go into one of the blue side or the red side of the map and see if they can get a pick. And well, ROT prepared for it in the bottom side of the map, stacking 5-man, but there won't be any kills, unfortunately. A slight exchange of information on where to the junglers will start, and Zyra is starting away from the bot lane this time. So that is pretty interesting. Copy will put out his ward again. I think they should expect this if they did their homework from the last game. They do spot out the ward, so they know where Zyra is starting. Similar start for the Lilia as well. They are going to mirror each other. And yeah, pretty standard stuff.
I mean, yeah, both the junglers starting onto the Raptors, both the junglers not really requiring any sort of leash. And we do see both of them will be pathing towards their red buff, and Zyra might be looking to pay a quick visit in the top lane, and the Lilia might be trying to do the same in the bottom side. Pretty standard stuff going around, so I will keep my eyes onto this mid lane. We'll see how Copy tries to trade against the Aurora this time. Last time it was working out for him against the Corki. Was not able to get a kill or so, but he made sure the Corki was forced under his turret all the time and was not able to roam. And Zuzu will try to make sure that the same thing does not happen again.
Yeah, and Zuzu takes a good trade right there. Aurora, you can jump out of the stun with your E. And if you land both your spells E and Q, you insta-proc that electrocute, land your marks on the champion. So good trade coming out from him, but he is being very respectful.
Connect onto the Blitzcrank right there. The return hook actually ends up missing. So not a lot coming out from the trade, but we do see signs of what to expect in the bottom lane. I think the Blitzcrank will be waiting for the Nautilus to engage and try to counter engage, as we did see right there. And this Vayne would just be happy to farm up, get those items, get onto the side lane, and this be a menace.
Yeah, and Zuzu is behind quite a lot of CS already in the mid lane because okay, Blood Torva has made a mistake. Let's see if Zuzu can punish this.
Oh, flash forward, but the
Burns
flash
out the flash
from
is
Blood
going to get
Torva,
that first blood.
dash is available by the Aurora to get a first kill. So again we did see Copy was just tanking the turret so much in the previous game as well for his trades, and this time Zuzu ends up making him pay. So Copy was the one going aggressive, goes into the turret yet again and ends up paying for his life this time. So misplay coming out right there.
Yeah, and this is just such a needless kill to give. You don't have to take every Q that you land your stun with, and especially not at the cost of tanking a turret, and that's exactly what he does. Gets hit once. Zuzu does well to punish him and takes the first blood for himself, burning the flash as well. And Fufu Cutie now has an opening in the mid lane to go around and punish this Irelia, who is doing well in the CS department. I don't think there's a lot of gold difference there, but a huge experience difference is going to come out if Fufu decides to go to the mid lane and punish the Irelia.
I mean, yeah, like Fufu should be looking to play towards his stronger lanes. We did not see him go and focus the bottom side. Let's see if he can rectify that this time around. So a bit of confidence booster for Zuzu as well to get a solo kill onto this Irelia, and we do see the Jace just doing so much damage onto Nabu, forcing him to recall and teleport back into the top side as we go into a quick pause. So 5 minutes into the game, EDX do end up getting the first blood yet again. They had the first blood in the first game as well. This time going on to the mid lane for Zuzu, and he shops for quite a few colorful gems in that ruby crystal and the sapphire crystal.
Yeah, and he is looking to go for that Rod of Ages build. I personally feel like Malignance is much better because of how your ultimate interacts with it. But going the beefy build, Rod of Ages, he will be tanky. He will be very strong in the lane in the 1v1 as well. Has fallen behind in CS. But again, he did really well to get that first blood and the experience on himself. So really good start for EDX again. Now let's see if we can have a different result this time around.
We'll be jumping back into the game real quick, and as you mentioned, let's just take a quick look at the bottom lane as well. Both the ADCs doing well for themselves, not getting caught out by the hook. So pick lane for both EDX and Reign of Terror. The ADCs will be on their tippy toes, trying not to get hooked, as that would result in at least a summoner spell.
Yeah, and Nabu just going to TP in the top lane, get the wave, get the XP. He's not that far behind. He's going to catch the wave right here. So Zyra moves on to the top side again. Blitzcrank is in the mid side now. Mechanics is trying to roam and punish the Irelia, who I see has been recalling for like forever and still has 46 years to his name. So props to him for that. Mechanics is going to spend a lot of time in the mid lane, in fact, to see if he can punish the Irelia. And SK is going to play very passively, just protecting
Oh, the
himself.
Lilia might
and
be
the
caught
ganks.
of the flash,
Lilia
but
flash.
right into the knockup of Blitzcrank. The hook is still available for when Darker Than Z tries to run away. The ignite is ticking, but the hook held on for too long. Not ideal for the Blitzcrank to get the kill, but it's a kill nonetheless. The jungler being set behind in tempo.
Yeah, a kill nonetheless, but I do feel like Zuzu could have burned his ult to get that kill for himself. But again, not the worst case scenario. You do get a free kill. Darker Than Z flashing onto the Blitzcrank and getting knocked right up. Huge mistake coming out. Big plays again from Mechanics, who is roaming a lot. Nabu's still level 5, so I think this trade does not favor him. And we could see a kill in the
Blackbeard
top lane
will
as well.
be trying to follow that up. Will have
I
that
think-
hammer splam right
Sure.
there. Good flash out of vision, but flash follow up by Blackblade will get him that solo kill. Flash forward into a knockup onto Darker Than Z. This Lilia without a flash of her own, but Blood Torva is right here to save the day. A lot of damage being done onto the side of EDX. Zuzu going dangerously low, getting torn apart, finds himself between three members of Reign of Terror and will go down. So good re-engage coming out from the side of Reign of Terror, and they'll end up getting the grubs for that.
Yeah, and it's a 2 for 2 because Nabu died in the top lane as well, not respecting the Jace enough. And I have to say, this is very poorly played from the side of EDX. They could have left the grubs, gone to the top side, killed the Jace who had burned his flash to get the kill onto the Mordekaiser. And even after that, the hook missed, but that's fine. Zuzu missed his ult entirely. Lilia just walked out of that ultimate. So not using their ultimates at the proper time has costed EDX in that particular fight, and now they are behind in gold as well. Jace with the 2 kills, and again, it's just whenever it comes to the objectives, EDX just lack that understanding of how to team fight.
I mean, yeah, pretty unfortunate right there from EDX. So at the end of all of that, EDX do end up with 2 out of the 3 grubs, so not the end of the world. But here in the bottom lane, Fufu Cutie is right here to get a kill. Potato Monster will use his barrier to buy himself some time. The ult forward into the turret, and a beautiful condemn coming out by the Vayne. Make sure that he is alive, stuns up the Kaisa, denying him the last auto attack, and a kill for SK, please, in the bottom side.
Yeah, and I think that was a bit of an error coming out of from Potato Monster, because Fufu Cutie missed his E, and Kaisa had his ult, so he could have tried to ult onto the Zyra and kill him. Instead decides to go inside the turret against the condemn of Vayne, and that's what happens if you try to, get too greedy. Pays for his life. Good play again. And this, we discussed this in the last game, that Fufu Cutie was not spending enough time towards his winning lane. But now he has gone to the bot side, gotten the Vayne a kill, and they are looking quite comfortable right now. Will get the Drake as well, so this is good.
That fight will translate right into the Drake, but Blacktiff is right here to make sure that is not very smooth for them. The Vayne ends up recalling as well, so it's just the jungler and the Blitzcrank. The Aurora does have priority over the Irelia to move towards this side, but the Lilia and Irelia will be trying to collapse, and I don't think Vayne can make it in time. So I'll be looking forward to see how this one pans out. So smart by EDX to just let that one go for now, seeing as SK was not available to fight right there. So they end up just leashing the dragon for Reign of Terror. They'll be like, thank you very much, we'll just pick that up.
Yeah, and poor call again coming out from EDX to start that dragon off in the first place. You just got a kill, go back, reset, get the items and come back again. Gang the bot lane. You burned a lot of summoners and ultimates in the bot lane, so just punish that. Instead they try to take the dragon and just lose it essentially for nothing. Talking about the CS numbers, you will see a huge discrepancy in the top lane, 21 CS behind, in the mid lane almost 30-40 CS behind. even in the bot lane 13, 15 CS. So in terms of farming, I think EDX is doing a very poor job, and that's, I think that's the goal lead that ROT has in this game.
I mean, yeah, this just shows like washed EDX might be a little bit washed because they're not keeping up with these CS numbers for 2 games in a row. There's no reason for the Vayne to be that far behind against a Kai'Sa Nautilus lane as well, but it's not the end of the world. But in the top lane,
even the Zyra is
Nabu
behind
is
quite a lot of
suffering, yes.
camps. Zyra does so well to clear out her jungle, and sure, we know he has tried to gank for his lanes, but you should still keep up the CS number. So I think that is kind of a miss from the side of EDX in totality.
Yeah, and Zuzu, we did see he's being able to match the Irelia, even being 30 CS behind on those trades, doing well for himself to stay alive, but he really needs to do something with those CS numbers. Irelia will TP back into the lane to make sure that she does not miss out on any CS. Black Blade just thumping Nabu, making sure life is hell for him in the top side. Oh, that minion will just
that
save the hook. The
hook was
flash
beautiful.
hook will come from Mechanics, make sure to tank the turret, buys time for his carries to do damage, but the flash and barrier being burned from the side of Kai'Sa. So good play overall coming out from the side of EDX right there.
Yeah, it's a good play coming out from the side of EDX. Again, Mechanics is known to be a great player of hook champions. I could have used another word there. Burns out the flash of Kai'Sa. It's a good trade overall. Irelia is making her way down into the bottom lane. So let's see how that goes. In the meantime, Darker Than Zed looking at the Zyra from the top side of the map and just takes the grubs away. So pretty well done from both the sides actually.
I mean, yeah, but the bottom side of the map is just lit up for EDX, so it's gonna be very hard to try to sneak up on them. SK Please and Nick doing well for themselves right there. Every time the camera pans to top side, I just feel sad for this Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised that Nabu has not tried to solo kill the Jays. Just make that plated steel caps, get a Bramble, get something else just to be tanky, get some armor, and try to 1v1 the Jays, because after the combo, if you survive, and you will survive as a Mordekaiser who can be very tanky, it should be a very easy solo kill for Mordekaiser. But he keeps missing on the EQ combo as well.
Oh, the hook just barely missing onto the Kai'Sa right there.
Nearly connected, and that could have been a dead Kai'Sa there. Potato Monster is playing with fire in this one.
Yeah, so Irelia spending all of her mana
There's a
to make
two-level
the push-up.
gap in
The
the
Drowsy
jungle.
and the Sleep will connect onto the Zyra. Level 7 against the level 9. Lilia will end up surviving with his life this time, but they switch their attention onto Zuzu, onto this mid lane. The Jace is here for
Mordekaiser is
moral support
TPing
as
there.
well,
They are
but
looking to fight.
Hook completely misses. They are trying to engage onto the Nautilus. The flash will buy him some time, but here he goes into the Dark Realm, and Nabu will pick up that kill for himself.
Yeah, good punish from the side of EDX. Again, punishing the over-aggression coming out from Darker Than Zed, who finds himself 2 levels up on the Zyra. I don't know how that works. Like, Zyra is one of the fastest, has one of the fastest clears in the jungle, so you should not be falling that behind. But then that just says that Poo is trying to set up a lot more ganks than he did in the last game.
I mean,
but again,
yeah,
all of this,
he should be looking to get his clear first before trying to go for those ganks as well. Sacrificing his items is not the best idea as well, because he needs to understand that he is one of the carry potentials as well. Zyra just does so much burn damage. So for any reason, I don't think there should be a 2-level gap in the jungle when you're not, like, you have not died as well. So seeing how jungle experience works as well, there is just so much compensation available, and still if you're 2 levels behind, there's something really wrong.
yeah, but alright, we'll just give him the benefit of the doubt and say he has been ganking too much, and which is fine. In the previous exchange, Nabu does get a kill for himself, so he is at least getting back into the game. Is behind in the CS, has lost 2 plates, has died solo one. once, but he has 1 kill to his name. And when he gets that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, he will be able to 1v1 the Jace, hopefully.
I mean, yeah, if we get a quick look at the gold, and we'll see a clearer picture of what's going on in the top side. We do see this Jace is just miles ahead of this Mordekaiser, so completely opposite of what we were expecting going into the draft. In terms of gold, the Zyra is on par almost with the Lilia, but in terms of experience, is just completely a different story. In the mid lane as well, 400 gold lead for the Irelia. In the bottom side, a 600 gold lead for this Vayne on SK, please. So gold being evenly spread out, and overall as a team, just a 1000 meager goal advantage for Reign of Terror at 13 minutes into the game. And I think they'll be setting their eyes on this next dragon, which will be coming up on in 40 seconds.
Yeah, and the whole goal lead sits in the top lane for the side of ROT. Black Blade being so far ahead. In the mid lane, Zuzu will get that one plate. Let's see if he pays for it with his life. Unfortunately, the Irelia has run out of mana,
Ooh, damn
which
it.
can be an issue for her. So has the 150 gold shutdown, although he is 0-1 because of how well he has been CSing.
He had that in the last game as well, so like 10
Oh,
CS
really
per
nice
minute, really
pullback.
get that.
Yeah,
So now
Mordekaiser
just
does not
trying
have
to
world.
survive, yeah.
Yeah, he does not have world, so he does not possess any kind of
Threat
to the Jace right now. Will look to reset and get some HP back for himself.
I mean,
Keeps on
even if
buying
he
those
has
health
the ult,
pots,
I'm
though.
not sure if the Mordekaiser is killing an opportunity and the magic resist boost Jace in there.
Yeah, no,
with
I just
those
have to
items
touch
that
on
he
this
has.
again. He keeps buying those health pots. Just get a refillable at this point. You have spent more than 250 gold on these health pots when you could have just gotten one refillable and just been fine the whole laning phase. So
Small
I mean,
things
even
like
Fufu
this.
Cutie has a refillable potion, which I don't really see on junglers these days. So
I mean, these small mistakes do end up costing big when they keep adding up. So the dragon now will be started up by the side of Reign of Terror, and I'm pretty sure EDX will not be trying to give that up for free. And let's see what they have in store. The dragon is melting away really quick, so Mechanics needs to find a hook and find it fast.
Zion
But Blue,
should look to ult here. Oh.
yeah, all of them were clumped up pretty well. I think that would have been a good engage, but considering the dragon was gone already, now Kaisa getting caught out, silenced by the Blitzcrank, not able to ult out or anything, and Fufu Cutie will end up getting that kill onto the ADC of Reign of Terror. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do see the Irelia engaging onto this Aurora as well. The ultimate will not end up buying any time, but will make sure that he stays inside the turret range and gets a 1-for-1 at least.
Yeah, and whenever EDX makes a good play, they just, I don't know if it's complacency or something else, they just lose a lot on the other side of the map. They are going to lose the mid turret. Zuzu did die 1v1. They have lost the top turret as well. And for all their troubles, because they did get a very good kill in the bot lane where Potato Monster just
Oh, the
overstepped his
hook
boundaries.
will connect onto this area right now. SK Please is right here. These auto attacks are landing, but the W from the side of Irelia buys so much time, but is not gonna matter at the end. The shutdown going onto this Vayne, just the perfect champion on which you want. Oh my god, that JCQ just took out half health bar of Vayne.
Yeah, big kill for SK Please. Gets the shutdown onto the Irelia, who was getting way too ahead, is very close to completing that Wit's End as well. Gets the mid turret, gets the solo kill, and then ends up dying to the Vayne. He would be saying hashtag words in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. SK will be happy with that one. So 15 minutes into the
He's
game.
going to make that trendy force on the Vayne. What's your take on that?
I mean, that is what the build is when you go for the static shiv route. Gives you a lot of movement speed, and the Q damage just helps a lot. Now Black Thief finds himself caught out between 4 people. The
misses the
Nautilus
hook onto the wall.
the terrain will miss. So
Yeah.
SK Please goes on to the killing free, and we have 2000 gold difference still. ROT in advantage, they have the better objectives as well, but the gold bounties are now available, and I'm pretty sure EDX will be trying to look for those. Hex flash into the hook,
Oh, that was so
almost
close.
connects onto the Kaisa. Ooh, nice try by Nyx right there.
Yeah, really nice try, but they are dumping out the side lanes for this. Was Aurora and SK Please are both sharing experience down in the mid lane and losing out on multiple waves in the top lane. SK Please has been getting a lot of kills. Props to Mechanics for just connecting these hooks, or at least getting so close to them all the time. Black Thief did make a mistake, could not land his hook onto the terrain and paid for it. And
I mean, I don't think that
there's
would have mattered all that much anyway. Would have bought him like a second or two, but good pickup from the side of EDX right there. So 7 kills to 3. They're really far ahead in kills, but find themselves less in gold because of the CS numbers and the turret disadvantage that they find themselves on.
Yeah, they have been unable to get the maximum out of these kills. They do keep getting these kills, but don't have the dragons, the void grubs to show for it, even the turrets. So I think EDX will be looking to take more advantage out of those kills.
Rift Herald being started right here. Mechanics looking menacingly. The hook does
Zyra
not
gets
connect
hooked.
on anyone this time.
flash.
Mechanics going dangerously low and will end up going down. Escape please, deep inside enemy territory, finds himself between 3 people, will end up going down as well. A good hook will connect onto Zuzu, who was in his ultimate but does not end up getting any kills. So a disaster coming on for the side of EDX right there. They end up losing 3 members and the Rift Herald and do not get anything in back.
Yeah, nothing to get in return. Again, they have such great ultimates to teamfight and somehow keep messing it up again and again. Nyx could not find the hook, but I don't think that's entirely his fault. Zyra ulted too late, Aurora showed up too late to the party, and then if you keep playing against the poor comp of ROT, in these extended team fights, then you are going to lose, and that's what we saw. SK Please had to pay for his life as well for the failures of his teammates.
I mean, he kited pretty deep into the enemy territory as well. Now Blackblade will get a quick flash to buy himself some time. Will have those acceleration kits available
Jace should
for
die.
some move speed as well. And he will just turn it around, make sure he gets at least 1 kill back. A massive shutdown going onto this Vayne again. So, but for that 1 kill, they end up losing the mid tier 2. And I don't see how that's really worth for EDX. Now they might even end up losing Nabu right here. CC for days is what Nautilus' other name is, and he is right here with the Lilia, who has CC for days for herself as well. And
Vayne is coming down in the bottom lane again.
The sleep will land, which makes sure the Kaisa can ult into the fray. The Vayne in that ultimate trying to do as much as he could. A beautiful hook landing onto the Kaisa by Mechanics from downtown. Will take down Potato Monster, so at least they get something in return, but still definitely not worth at all for EDX right there.
I mean, yes, but did you see that hook?
Oh my god. SK, I think every single kill SK has gotten is a shutdown. Man might be sitting on a mountain of gold. The Irelia ult engage lands onto 3 people. Fufucutie buys some time with his Zonia of his own, but the Jace damage is huge, and he takes down 2 kills, followed up by the 2 kills of Irelia, and it's a clean wipe yet again in front of an objective. And EDX, they just seem clueless around this objective fight.
Yeah, and if we can get a replay of that as well, the ults are just mistimed from the side of EDX, and Zuzu has not been influential on this Aurora pick, which is so broken right now because of her ultimate, which you don't see too much in this game. Just look at this. They get a good pick onto the Lilia.
Jungler, yeah.
You can see the TP coming in right now, and you can decide where you want to fight this, but the Nautilus lands his ultimate onto 2. Irelia does the same, and then Jace is there to clean this up. So pretty good team fight coming out from ROT, but a lot to left to be desired from the side of EDX yet again when it comes to a fight near
Maynard
any
being
objective.
popped might be looking to run this Kaisa down, but the Kaisa is just dishing out so much damage. The condemn lands, but it's gonna be too little. They're underestimating this Kaisa, who has 2 items. They end up getting the kill back, but it's not looking good when your most fed carry is not able to take down a 1-3 Kaisa.
Yeah, Aurora does get the kill, does get the trade, get the shutdown as well. I mean, 1-for-1 is not entirely too bad. They are looking to kill the Jace again. I really like this from Mechanics. He keeps coming down to the bottom lane and punish this Jace. A lot used. A lot of ultimates were burned for this one though. Mordekaiser still has his ult.
I mean, again,
And
they
a lot
do
of
get the
resources
kill
put
on
there.
the bottom side, but they end up losing the tier 2 on the top side. So
Yeah, and
another
Irelia is so
objective
strong. She
trade.
could 1v2 right now.
Objective traded for a kill yet again. I think this is what we've been seeing on replay for EDX. They are chasing the kills. They are getting the kills, but they're losing the entire map.
Yeah, this just keeps on happening. They put way too much resources onto one side lane and the other one loses out. And SK Please finds himself farming with Zuzu and keeps falling behind in the experience department as well. He is 2000 gold ahead but 2 levels down on the Kai'Sa.
I mean, yeah, and Zuzu in the mid lane about to be flame horizoned by Copy as well. Things are not looking good if you have 130 CS at 23 minutes. Does have the Rod of Ages stacked, but this Aurora, as you mentioned, not doing a lot in this
Nabu
game.
should just ult right here and try to 1v1. I am not sure why he's not doing that.
Yeah, Blood Torva
might
will
not be
force-
strong enough to do it, but yeah, Mordekaiser is strong in the 1v1, so he's just playing very, very respectfully and not realizing how strong his champ is. And I think that's been the story of the game so far as well.
I mean, again, it's a slow, poisonous death that EDX is looking to suffer right now as they keep on bleeding these objectives. Now, Fufucuti, you do not want to be near that Zyra.
Yeah,
but
Irelia does not have
Nick
gold.
will-
I think this should be
Nick
a pretty
will
easy
turn
kill.
around and get the knock-up onto the Irelia. Fufucuti uses his Zonia to buy some time. Right into the death realm, Nabu picks up that shutdown for himself. Now the pings onto the Baron might be going up.
I
They do
really
have
hope
the
they don't try
Vayne.
to get this Baron right here.
I mean, they see the Jace in the bot side. The Kai'Sa is pushing the mid lane, but the Lilia and the Nautilus are here. HP bars pretty low on the
Vayne
side of
could
EDX.
get caught here.
And a beautiful hook lands onto the Vayne, will end up getting slept as well, and bonk comes the Lilia, and it's a complete wipe that we're gonna be looking at right now. Double kill coming on from the Jace, and the robot is not gonna end up going too far. So, sorry, this time they end up going for the objectives. I thought they would be looking at the Baron, but there's an open inhibitor in the mid lane. Why not just get that instead?
They are looking
And
to
with
end
the
this game
teleport,
right
I think
here.
they are just looking to end the game right here, right now.
Yeah, and it's very lackluster performance coming out from EDX. I mean, you get the kill in the top lane, try to get the turret instead of just roaming around in the river. Poor SK again gets caught, and it wasn't his fault. Again, he's just following the call that his team is making. And so I'm not too sure what the call was there. It's very confusing. The top turret was right there for the taking, and then 4 of them just die, lose the mid inhib, and now it's gonna put up a lot more pressure for them to contest these objectives because the Dragon Soul is coming up, Baron is already up, and they find themselves 9,000, 10,000 gold behind already.
EDX do find themselves near the pit before ROT, but the teleport is there from Zuzu, and they are looking to burn this dragon down, make sure they do not give away the soul. They get a neat objective bounty, a Cloud Drake for themselves, but now what do we see? Reign of Terror looking at them menacingly.
I think
They're
Reign
walking
of Terror
towards
is
bot
smart
side.
enough to
Yeah.
realize 5 of them are in the
Just take the
bottom.
Baron.
That Baron is, yeah, exactly. And this is again very poor macro coming out from EDX. They are sticking as a 5-man unit when they don't need to. They could have easily given up that Drake,
They
trading
wanted
it
to
for a
deny the
Baroness.
soul. I think they had to trade one objective either way. Instead of losing both of them, they were like, okay, just uh, let it be and let's just get the dragon and deny the soul at least.
Yeah, but that slow poisonous death is becoming a really quick one, really fast as well. The Baron is gone. Jace is pretty fed. If we just check out the items as well on the carries on the side of ROT, Kaisa with the W poke build, Jace with the EQ. It's going to be too much for EDX to deal with, unless they can pull off a Hail Mary and just
Yeah.
go in with the ultimates that they have.
I mean, the combo is there, the items are not. So let's see what they can do to defend their home. Zuzu will end up getting caught with the Nautilus hook right there. The Irelia ultimate forward. Darker Than Zed has slain Zuzu and the mid laner goes down from the side of EDX. In the death realm, we do see the
Nabu
Lilia
just
just
missed
hopping
everything
and
there.
jumping away from the Mordekaiser. Another great hook lands onto this Blitzcrank. Good dodge coming on from the Kaiser right there. Mechanics going dangerous low. Flash forward by Potato Monster showing off right there. And Reign of Terror just take down 3 members of EDX without any
Yeah, and this is
reply.
going to be game as well. A very confusing team fight coming out. Zuzu gets caught again, far out from his inhib turret, and the whole team pays for it. So this is going to be a very quick 2-0 from the side of ROT, and they will progress on to the lower bracket final.
So yeah, we do see Reign of Terror are not here to play around. They 2-0 the old dogs of the community and make sure they let EDX know, guys, you can't just hop back into a tournament and win against the new generation, and left a lot to be desired by this side. And let's hope for the sake of this community EDX decides to stick together and get the synergy back, because we know if you give these players time what they can do. So not the end of the
Exactly, yeah.
world for EDX right now. They have top players. They have the legends of the community that we talk about in SK Please, Mechanics,
And
Nabu,
they've still got
Fufu.
it. The hooks that Mechanics
Yeah.
had in this game, especially the one inside the turret, like you see the glimpses of their gameplay and how great they used to be. So a good tournament for them, a comeback tournament for them, placing themselves in the top 6 in a tournament of 30, 32, 40 teams. It's not a small
yeah,
deal.
you
I would
guys
say.
have to think about these guys have not touched a single game of Summoner's Rift in God knows how long, over a period of years and years, and they still end up getting top 6 in their comeback tournament. Just really well played, but unfortunately this is gonna be the end of EDX in this tournament at least. So let's hope they can keep their heads up high and come back stronger next time, and we all will be hoping and praying and wishing that EDX does come back. But talking about Reign of Terror, they do find themselves in the 4th round of the lower bracket as well, so this gauntlet run is alive. Solid performance coming on, another 2-0. They're not looking to drop any games. They do not look to make any mistakes. The macro was solid. The micro in the lane was just impeccable. The amount of leads they were generating just on basis of CS and all. So Reign of Terror again making a statement, and who knows, they might find themselves in the grand final yet again.
Yeah, coming back from their disappointment against Radiance, getting 2-0, a really good dominating series coming out from them, especially from the solo laners as well. Although Irelia got solo killed, he was still 40-50 CS ahead at like 10 minutes, so it did not really matter much in the long run. Great performances from them, especially from Potato Monster as well in the first game. Held his own in the second game, although there were a couple of misplays. Again, did what he needed to do in the team fight. So mad props to them. Again, congratulations to them for moving ahead into the lower bracket final, and let's see how far their run is in this tournament, being the finalists in the last one.
So yeah, we do see Reign of Terror moving towards the next best of 3, and they will be against either Radiance or Miku's Descendants, who will be the second game tonight in the second round of the lower brackets. As far as it goes for EDX, they are unfortunately going home. And Reign of Terror, what do you think they're gonna be looking to change? Do you think they wanna change something, or just keep moving forward, keep the same
I think
playstyle
what
ahead?
they did, what they did today was fine. Pretty solid performances, but again, they can be a little bit too over aggressive and then pay for it. So against better players and teams who are practicing together, they can and they will pay for those mistakes coming in. If you make the same mistakes against, say, a Catbot or even Thorfinn, you will pay for it, because those are the kind of players who will take big advantages against you. And so those are the sort of mistakes that they have to brushen up. And in terms of fighting in this tournament, fighting against the demons of Radiance, again, we have that series coming up soon. Won't be streamed, I'm not too sure. Again, Miku's Ascendance, if I'm not wrong. And if Radiance come out of that BO3 as well, then again we are going to get a repeat of the same match that we had earlier. So let's see how Radiance and Reign of Terror perform against each other. Reign of Terror will be looking to get the revenge against Radiance, and that is going to be a great series to watch as well. So I'm quite excited for that. And yeah, Reign of Terror, this victory is pretty good for their confidence, right? You want to answer back with good games, not great games, but at least you want to win those games, and they did their job. So I think they'll be fine as well.
I mean, yeah, coming out on a 2-0 sweep on the old dogs. Let's just have a quick look at how it all unfolded with the highlights coming right your way. And we will be getting the highlights on screen for you real quick. So we do see Reign of Terror starting to make quite a name for themselves as well. Were runners up in the previous tournaments, having strong showing in this tournament as well. So whenever we do talk about League of Legends India scene, we end up talking about Temple of Kings, Order of Kings, not really some other teams. But now Reign of Terror is making a big case for themselves to be respected.
Yeah, and again, Zuzu does get first blood, but I think his build was very confusing. He made a Rod of Ages, a Rift Maker. I am not too sure what that was about. I am just waiting to see Nyx's hook onto the Kaisa, if I'm honest. That hook was the highlight for me in this game at least, but you will see in the highlights again. Whenever EDX got a kill, they paid for it with an objective loss. So a net loss in general. So I think that is something they could look to improve on if they do stick around and play the next tournament.
I mean, yeah, the 2v2s in the bot lane were going pretty well as well. This time we did see Potato Monster getting outsmarted by Brutality on his Vayne, and like all of these highlights are EDX getting those early kills and doing well for themselves. But as soon as we pan to an objective, we see ROT.
Yeah, when it comes to team fights and mid game, I think EDX struggled. Their early game has been fine, got the kills, got ahead wherever they could, but in general, just laning and mid game calls have been pretty poor from their side. So I think they can look to improve on those things, especially the solo kills as well, and then losing objectives after it. But props to Nyx and props to SK Please. They tried their best, got ahead, got those kills, kept hooking them left and right. But yeah, I mean, ROT just too strong for the likes of EDX.
ROT indeed just too strong, as we see the macro just coming out, and just the team fighting prowess that they showed as well, having clear target selections. You see immediately all of them just focus onto one guy, and everyone knows what their job is pretty well, and that just translates to beautiful team fights, and EDX just couldn't endure this time around.
Yeah, and for ROT again, we will see them again, and I am excited for this team as well, because say whatever, but their games are a lot of fun because there's a lot of bloodshed going around everywhere. and they're a fun team to watch. Comfortably now a top 4 team, I would like to say.
Oh yeah,
Could even be
definitely.
the third best or second best team. We'll have to
I
see in
mean,
this
they are
tournament.
the second best team from the previous tournament, so
Exactly.
not a bad shout to call them top 3. Again, talking for the brackets, we have Temple of Kings and Altar of Kings in the upper bracket semi-final tomorrow. So we have all these spicy teams left. Reign of Terror will be going against either Radiance or Miku's Descendants, and then we will have Altar of Kings or Temple of Kings in the lower bracket, depending on who comes out on top in the winners bracket. So it's just the business end of the tournament, and these teams have to make their money worth it, and they just have to show what and all they have been working for till now. And let's see if Reign of Terror can keep this up and get ahead of teams like Temple of Kings and Altar of Kings, because those two are the teams to beat. Those two are the teams that we look out for in the tournaments as well. Unfortunately or fortunately for Reign of Terror, in the previous edition of the Community Cup, we did see TOK and AOK go against each other pretty earlier on the tournament. So one of the tournament's favorites was knocked out, but this time around with the double elimination, that
And
is
best of
not
threes.
gonna be the same. Yeah. So Reign of Terror really needs to have their A game up if they want to be called on the same level as TOK and AOK. So summarizing this game, this series, Reign of Terror 2-0 against EDX in the lower bracket second round knocks out EDX out of this tournament, taking down EDX in 29 minutes into the second game with 20 kills towards them and just leaking out 13 kills.
Speaking of scoreboard, Faisal, like this is, I mean, if you showed this scoreboard to someone, they could exactly predict what happened in this game. Lot of kills for EDX, nothing to show for it. Only one turret and one dragon. They did leash one dragon for the side of ROT as well. So that has been their downfall in this particular series, not being able to take advantage of those kills and turning them into objectives. And that is what ROT did really well. And even the team fights as well. So I think the scoreboard tells a story, and that story is pretty clear for me at least. ROT doing very well in the team fights and EDX lacking.
I mean, yeah, ROT winning out the fights when it mattered. They always converted a team fight victory into an objective, which is what should be the name of the game. So ROT just coming out ahead in all departments of the game that matter, even though they did end up leaking a few kills earlier on, but just not gonna happen this time for EDX. But well played overall. EDX top 6, not a bad shout for their comeback tournament, and Reign of Terror moves on ahead. So reminding you guys, this is the Esports Club Community Open August, and powered by Crucial and made possible by Zotac Gaming. So let's go ahead and look at the damage graph coming out from the second game.
I
right
think
now.
that has to be Jace, right?
I
would be
Irelia?
very
I mean, the
surprised.
amount of trading Irelia was doing, I'm not just surprised. Irelia would
Yes,
end
that
up
the
tanking
trading's
2
fine, but
turrets as well,
Irelia's
yeah.
damage was in isolation, right? The Jace EQ hits a lot of people, and I was wrong.
So yeah, Irelia gets the nod in
that
the
Mordecai
damage
is a
department.
Yeah,
Less
just look at the
damage
damage
in the
between
yeah.
Blitz and Mordecai, sir. So
I mean,
I-
Nabu wouldn't want to be looking at this damage all that much.
I don't think anyone would. He did not have the best of series, but again, he is again a returning player as well. So
And
they again
support main as well. Like we know Nabu
support
for
main. I mean,
his,
that dude has played all 5 roles, so I think you can just call him any. He's the most versatile player that I know, especially at his peak. But not his best series. But again, top 6 for EDX. Nothing to scoff at. They did pretty well for themselves in this tournament. A good comeback, and let's see how they get up for the next one. And yeah, the spotlight should be on ROT. They made it very easy. And tomorrow, guys, we have AOK against TOK, and I think that could be very
The
well be the
pinnacle-
preview of the final as well.
The pinnacle of League of Legends in South Asia.
Exactly. I am just so excited for that series. I get to watch all my favorite players from India come against each other again. And in the last tournament they met pretty early. It was a best of one as well, but it was a very close game, Faisal. So in tomorrow's game, what are your expectations from the best of three coming in? Because these guys are sister teams, right? They know each other so well. Every time there's a final, these guys are playing against each other. Dead Corporal used to play for TOK, now playing in AOK. So these guys are just so familiar with each other, and somehow TOK always wins against AOK. So this is going to be one of those series AOK must be looking out for revenge, right?
I mean, yeah, I think Temple of Kings is just the kryptonite for Altar of Kings. Just that one team that is there that you have to beat out. You are pretty confident that you are stronger than the rest of the competition, but there is always that one team. So let's see if Altar of Kings in the first semi-finals of this tournament in the best of three can conquer their demons and come up clutch against Temple of Kings, which is hands down the greatest team that League of Legends in South Asia has produced historically, currently, or whatever. So tomorrow we will be going against in the semi-final 2 of lows in the low bracket with Reign of Terror and the winner of Radiance and Miku's Descendants. So this is not it, guys. You can go ahead and watch that game, Radiance versus Miku's Descendants, right now on the Discord watch party on our Discord channel, the links of which are in the description box below. So make sure that you come up big in numbers to know who Reign of Terror will be going up against tomorrow. So make sure you join the Discord party.
Yeah, an exciting match there as well. Radiance and Reign of Terror, who faced each other, finding themselves in the lower bracket run. So let's see if they meet each other again, and let's see what happens there. Very exciting match.
So yet again, guys, this was the Esports Club Community Cup August Open, brought to you by Crucial Gaming and Zotac Gaming. Make sure that you check out those two amazing companies. The links of their amazing products are in the description box below to make sure that you get a good boost to your gaming PC, and maybe you will be on the stage ahead as well. And make sure that you subscribe to all of our socials. And this is gonna be it for our side. It's me, Fireball, and Kaka signing off.
When are you gonna upgrade your system? Alright, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
Pick up! Come on, come on!
Eyes on the battle, not your screen, Commander.
I was thinking we could use some backup. Yes! Now, Violet!
Steal your pride, Wolf. The fish girl is winning.
Woo!
He's mine.
Not bad, little leader.
Guessing you have a plan.